So, a few NFL stories to talk about right before training camp kicks off. Firstly, 3 days ago, the Chicago Bears extended their GM Ryan Poles through the 2029 season. And this headline definitely got my attention, and it officially has both Ryan Poles and Ben Johnson under contract for the next 5 seasons. So, absolute 100% job security for at least the next 2 or 3. Poles has been the GM since the 2022 season, and since that time, the Bears have had a 15-36 record. So, since he's been the GM, not a whole lot of success just yet, but hopefully everyone in Chicago is hoping that changes this season. Now listen, man, I like Ryan Poles. I do. I like aggressive GMs because I feel like if you're an aggressive GM, eventually you're going to start to hit on your moves, whether that's through the draft or through the trade market. But the thing about Ryan Poles and the Bears, it's what I just mentioned. He hasn't had a lot of success yet, and it's such a critical season in 2025 for Chicago, for Caleb, for everyone in that building. So I don't know, man. I feel like it's a year too premature in my opinion. I definitely would have waited until after this upcoming season ended to kind of see where everyone's at, because there's a lot of hype in Chicago 2 years in a row. Of course, it's Ben Johnson's first year being a head coach. A lot of people have high hopes for him, me included. He's a great play caller, so it should work. But at the same time, you never know. There's a lot of unknowns, and it could be another somewhat disastrous season in Chicago. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. Let me know if you think this contract extension is a bit too premature, or do you 100% agree with it? Like I said, I'm a fan of Ryan Poles. I like aggressive GMs, but yeah, let me know in the comments below. And speaking of Chicago, they are definitely going to be one of my most excited teams to watch for this upcoming season. Just because the amount of pressure that's kind of in that city, in that building, like, they're definitely due for a playoff appearance. I know their drought isn't as long as the New York Jets or anything like that. It's only a 7-year drought, but still, Chicago, it's a hardcore, passionate city when it comes to their sports, so they're definitely due. I don't know. I just think it's going to get super ugly super quick if Ben Johnson just has a bad first year. I hope he doesn't, because I like Ben Johnson. He seems like a cool guy. I like him kind of talking Matt LaFleur and whatnot, so, crossing my fingers for all you Bear fans and Caleb Williams. I believe in Caleb. A lot of people thought he had a terrible rookie season. I thought it was pretty decent. If you take a look at his stats, not that bad. Of course, he has to work on getting rid of the football and not taking so many sacks. But then again, he had such a piss poor O-line. And he only threw like 6 interceptions. So I thought that was pretty impressive, all things considered. So hopefully he can take a big step in year 2, and it should be a good time to watch, man. It should be a good time to watch. And, they open the season at home, Monday Night Football, under the lights, week 1 against the Minnesota Vikings and J.J. McCarthy. That might be my most anticipated game of the week, quite honestly. That and the Steelers at the New York Jets. I'm curious, what is your most anticipated game for the week 1 schedule? Let me know in the comments below. Now, the other news piece I wanted to address is the Browns rookie running back Quinshawn Judkins was arrested Saturday on a charge of battery and domestic violence. It's just crazy to me, man. A week, 6 days before training camp opens up, and you're a rookie in the NFL, you're a millionaire, you're about to sign your first NFL contract, and you commit a domestic violence charge, supposedly. It's just crazy to me, man. I'd understand if a rookie was at the club and he caught an assault charge. You're that age, you're a millionaire, you're celebrating still, and, you're out with your boys. I get it, someone at the club acting up. I get it, I do. But domestic violence charge 6 days before you got to show up to Cleveland for your first NFL training camp, it's just nuts to me. I just don't get it, and it's just pretty disappointing if you're a Browns fan and if you're just in the Browns building in general, because this guy was drafted 36th overall in April, and that's a pretty high draft pick, man. And he's a running back, of course, and this guy was supposed to replace Nick Chubb, and it's just crazy, man. Nick Chubb, when he was on Cleveland, when he got drafted by them in 2018, he's just been the heart and soul of that team. Seemed like a really good person. No drama. One of the best players the Browns have had in a minute. And then the guy that they draft, who they're trying to replace Nick Chubb in the very first season of him being on a new team, a week before training camp, this happens. A complete circus in Cleveland, but I guess some things never change. But just overall, really, really disappointing news. And, I don't know what that guy's like. I don't know if he's a good person or not, or if this was just a one-time mistake sort of thing. But just not a good look, man. If you get speeding tickets like Shador, or you catch an assault charge at the club, that's a little different. You know what I mean? That's a little different. I could kind of be a lot more understanding. But like I just said, a domestic violence charge less than a week before you have to report in Cleveland is just completely nuts to me. But yeah, man, let me know what you think about this news. And as far as the Browns QB competition goes, it was reported early on that Kenny Pickett was the favorite to be the QB1, but apparently Joe Flacco, to no surprise, has been slinging it, has been killing it. A lot of people in that locker room want Joe to be the QB1, and I would say Joe Flacco is absolutely a better quarterback than Kenny Pickett. I really don't think there's much of a conversation there. I think everyone would pretty much agree with that, unless Kenny Pickett has traveled to the Himalayas the past 2-3 months and he is just improved like a madman in every way possible at being a QB, then yeah, Joe Flacco is definitely a better QB than Kenny Pickett. But at the same time, if you're the Browns, it's definitely tricky to who you give the keys for week one. But in my opinion, I would definitely give Kenny Pickett the week one nod, only because Joe Flacco is an older guy. He's 38, I believe. I just don't know if he could play all 17, 18 games. So if you give Kenny Pickett the week one start, at least you're going to get the best version of him. His confidence is going to be there. He's going to be completely fresh, start of the season, compared to if you start Joe Flacco. Hypothetically, you're probably going to throw in Kenny Pickett week 5, week 6. He's going to be unsure of himself. His confidence is going to be all over the place. And like I said, I think you got to be a little smart if you're Stefanski here. And I trust Kevin Stefanski. He seems like a pretty good head coach. So definitely a tricky situation. But I'm curious, if you were the head coach of the Cleveland Browns, who would you start week 1? Kenny Pickett or Joe Flacco? Let me know in the comments below. But yeah, man, that's about it. Definitely craving ball. I've been craving it since June. I'm ready for it to be back. I miss Sundays. I miss Mondays. I miss Thursdays. I just need it back in my life. I really, really do. Training camp is about to start momentarily, so good news there for sure. Hall of Fame game, July 31st. Let's get it. But yeah, man, if you made this far, please subscribe and like the video to help out your boy a ton. That's all I got for right now. Peace.
Away from the ball, there's a flag down to the field.
Holding offense.
The defense will take the penalty.
First down.
The Chargers have it at the 39. Houston's all over that offense and brings him down.
The Chiefs defensive coordinator, my gosh, he is one happy guy. Anytime you get in the backfield and stop a runner and make him lose yards, that's some good stuff.
The Chargers from the 37. And the catch is made by Woodhead.
Nobody cares. Just get the job done. Throw it deep down the field or throw it short to the running back, and look at those extra yards after the short pass.
They'll go Brown. He's tackled beyond the markers. It's a first down.
Well, one of the hardest things to do, and I think, in the NFL now is third and short is run the football and pick up yards. That time, nice job by the offensive line. They showed their power, and they picked up the first down.
Locked in on the football and has hold of it with two hands.
Nice job that time by the tight end. Makes the catch, and you got to look out for him now in the NFL. Remember, they're usually the closest receiver to the quarterback. Quarterback gets in trouble, he's going to look for the tight end.
Woodhead